Welcome to the Roniel and DaRon podcast show. I'm Roniel.
I'm DaRon.
And boy, I got something special for you guys to talk about with DaRon. You know, I definitely got to ask DaRon. He probably might not know this. But DaRon, have you heard of the catastrophic issue and tragedy that happened this weekend at something that I don't even know if you listen to? Do you listen to Travis Scott?
I don't. My wife mentioned it this morning, actually, and I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, well, it's been all over the news. And I'm going, not the news I listen to.
Oh my gosh. So just to bring it up, there was a very big tragic thing which bothered me because um and it's some issues with that. But at the concert, he's a big rapper. At a concert, it was full of people, and I'm sure they packed to capacity. They were packed. It was to the point where they were all scrunched up together. And even if you raise your hand, it gets hotter and hotter. I'm sure it was like, can't remember if it was in Texas or somewhere, but it was in a hot place. So it had to be somewhere in Texas. But
I thought Travis Scott was country. This is how out of touch I am with all of this.
no, I think he's from Texas.
I'm saying I thought he did country music.
No, I think he's from London or one of them. Texas, I don't remember. But no, he does not do country music. He's a rapper.
I don't. Again, this is how out of touch I am with all of this stuff.
Yeah. Well, what happened is he's performing. It's hot. It's compact to capacity. People are passing out and dying because it was too hot. They were suffocating, like basically suffocating. They're passing out. Younger kids, and he's still performing. The ambulance is trying to get through, and they couldn't get through because the crowd is massive. And a lot of people are blaming him because people were calling for help. They're screaming for help, and he didn't do anything. He seen the ambulance. He kept performing. And a lot of people were saying it was more demonic and all. Look, my thought was it was horrible. And if you saw an ambulance, that immediately tell you to stop. Especially if you see somebody like this, they land and passed out. So, but also a lot of people need to understand that if you're up on stage and if you ever performed before, you're not hearing people talk. He got earpieces in, he's performing, he got loud ass music coming from both ways.
Bright lights.
How the hell can you tell whether somebody's screaming out like help me? He probably think they like, yeah, Travis did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
He probably thought they were cheering him.
Right. If you've ever been on stage, you'll know that. Again, I'm not saying that he was right. I think this was horrified, like it was bad, and they're probably gonna cancel his ass. But I'm just saying in particular, that was some crazy shit. 8 people died, and I think people got injured. I don't know how many people got injured from being stepped on. You know, it was like a stampede. Something.
But why are they blaming him and not his crowd? It's not like he forced them to move forward and encouraged them. I assume they had speakers throughout the place so you could hear it, because I've been to 3 concerts in my lifetime, and in every case I had to wear earplugs because it didn't matter that it was in the back. I could feel it in my bones.
Yeah, I've been on stage, I performed, and I could hear nothing nobody was saying. You could see how they were, and if the lights were shining on you, you barely see. But if you see the people in front of you, you can see what's going on. But in the people in the back of you, I can't see shit.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I've heard the lights, especially depending on how they are, how bright they are. I mean, you may see nothing. Absolutely nothing.
And a lot of times I might be wearing shades, but like I said, even with the music, all you hear is boom, 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 boom. Like you ain't hearing nothing else.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing was people were mad because the ambulance came. And supposedly you could see they had video where he stopped and saw.
Oh.
But I don't know if it's proof, but he saw, and he also was looking at somebody like laying like lifeless in the crowd. He didn't do anything. He didn't say stop. He didn't say let them through. Something's going on. He didn't do anything. So people were mad because, and you know how he did that. Then his apology was weak. His apology to everybody did not seem sufficient enough. It just seemed like he really didn't care. He said that he cared about his fan, but it didn't really seem good.
I wonder if, knowing very little about this, but just knowing the general concert-y kind of environment, I wonder if he just figured it was one person, and that if he stopped, that his fans would get mad for stopping for one person, or maybe it was a brawl.
Look at that. If I was famous as him and I saw somebody lifeless, I'm going to stop the show because every person matters.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's one. Get this man some help.
Yeah,
You know, everybody matters. Like it doesn't matter if it's one person down, another. Like no,
I agree. I do
know better.
agree.
And then he should also have not. He should have talked to a public relations, his PR, about how to deal with
Yes.
the situation and not show up on Instagram or
Yes.
apologizing. What the hell is wrong with you rappers? Get it together.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. I've always sat there and wondered why more of these celebrities don't talk to a good PR firm to figure out what to do in any of these kinds of incidents. Because they'll get you through whatever it is, but these guys, they just try to, I don't know if they're trying to loan gun it or if they're talking to the wrong people, but every time they come up with the dumbest, it's like Bill Clinton and his little, well, it depends on what your definition of sex is kind of deal. It's like, that's the wrong thing to say.
Like, stop playing with us.
Right.
What the hell is wrong with you, man? Don't play. Like, but I think who should be charged is not as well is, or at least be bothered is the people who's put on the show.
Yeah.
I think they should be charged because they knew that there was filled to capacity and they kept letting people in.
Yeah, that sounds like something I mean, if the fire marshal had known, they would have come in and cleared everyone out kind of deal. So
yeah. So I think that's the people who did the venue they pretty much should be in trouble for that.
Yeah, that sounds like it's their fault.
Oh yeah, horrible. And then so that was just something that was crazy of the week. And then also, did you get a chance to see Eternals?
I haven't. I haven't. It's on my list, but I haven't yet.
Definitely gonna see it. I didn't beat you. I hadn't seen it 2 times, I think. Like I don't know. I'm a movie person, man.
You are a movie person.
Movie person. So I love the stuff. I can even go into some other things that I actually think it's cool. One thing I think that you should watch is coming out pretty soon. I don't know if you ever read the comic book Hit Monkey. It's coming out on Hulu. It's very interesting. But anybody that love monkeys, you'll love. Like any monkey series or TVs or shows, you definitely like this one. But it's another thing to keep on your radar. Hit Monkey's coming out, and then the Hawkeye series, I think is coming out this month or next month. That should be very interesting. So it's a lot of good things coming out this year, so we can wrap it up and watch some really good shows. I don't know if DaRon, if you have some other shows that people should actually watch, but if you haven't, definitely look at those things when they come out.
Yeah, have you seen Inside Job from Netflix yet? It's a TV show.
I started watching it. I ain't finished it, but that is hilarious,
isn't it? It's very funny.
You know, what was that one show I kept telling you, the police show, the deputy show, the cartoon? I can't remember. Remember I told you I was telling you about the HoboCop series that I was dying on.
Yes.
They had the cracked out dog.
Yes. That's Paradise PD, right?
Yeah, Paradise PD. Every time I watch, when I watch an episode of it, I watch this, I literally like get that feeling. I also would watching Big Mouth as well. I don't know if you watch Big Mouth.
Yeah.
It's insane. But yes, I had started watching a little bit of Inside Job. I ain't finished it
yet. That's a good one. And I know Halloween just passed, but I don't know. This is old. This is maybe 2015. Have you ever seen a TV show called Scream Queens?
Mm-mm.
You should try that, especially because you are a cinephile. I think you'll really. There are a ton of references and movie jokes. I mean, the whole thing is just nothing more than a complete mockery of. It's not just the Halloween genre, but it's actually a whole bunch of different genres that they put in there.
Just so you guys know, disclaimer, he did say cinephile. Okay, just want you guys to know, because people will take that out the long way. That ain't me. Just want y'all to know that. If you guys haven't, go see the Scream Queens. Go see Hit Monkey when it comes out. Hawkeye's coming out pretty soon. And go see Eternals. Get up off your couch and stop being lazy and go see Eternals. All right? Thank you. So anyway, I really wanted to touch bases today about DaRon's favorite topic. Do you hear me? Favorite topic. Why does DaRon hate white hats so much? What is your beef with white hats? What did they do to you? And were you ever a white hat in your lifetime?
No.
That probably was so
No.
disrespectful.
Well, be glad you're on the other, so you're far away. That's fighting words.
Woo! I'm right behind my garbage bag, so you guys
He's
don't worry
trying to
about it.
keep his location secret so that I
Yes,
don't
yes.
figure out where he is and beat him up for what he just
Doesn't it
suggested.
look like I'm like about to be taped for something? I didn't want to go there, but you know what I'm talking about.
I
That
do.
bad background that they have, and they have the person sit there record it. Yeah. All right. Anyway, back on to the topic. Yeah. Why do you hate white hats so much? And can you give us a point? Like, can you give us a good description for people that don't know what a white hat is and why they're so bad and how they compare to those skids that you talk about all the time? And give us some examples.
All right.
Hey.
So, real quickly, the rundown breaks out like this. So, first and foremost, you have script kiddies, and they're on the far left of technical skills. Now, script kiddies are people who don't know what they're doing. They just use a tool that they found online or that their friend gave them or whatever. And they use that to compromise systems or do some kind of funny business. And then they brag to all their friends because that's the big point and purpose. It's bragging rights. Next, you have white hats, which is really script kiddie by another name. So these are people who, again, use tools that they downloaded from the internet and got from their friends. They don't know what the tools do. They just know if they run them that magically things happen and systems get compromised or vulnerabilities get pointed out. And now the important thing about both of these communities, since they're really the same, is if their software goes through and makes some claim regarding a vulnerability or something like that, they don't have the technical know-how to actually prove this purported vulnerability. They don't have the knowledge to explain how the vulnerability works, and they certainly lack the understanding to give you a proper mitigation. They just can't do it.
So you mean that tell me that you got to know how the tool works?
Yes. It's
You can't
amazing.
just magically hack something and you don't have to know how the tool works. I mean, ain't that what hacking is?
Well, if you use Metasploit and Autopon, yes.
So, so are you telling me that you pretty much can say the script kiddies and white hat are the same thing?
Oh yeah, immense overlap. These two groups cut from the same cloth.
It's funny that you say that because I remember at Nauticon years and years ago, I think that might have been 2009, around that area, maybe, I want to say 2009. Uh, I think that was the last year that it was in. I remember a guy came on. I don't remember his name, but there were several people that came on. You know what they said? They bragged about this shit. They say, "Yeah, I don't know how to code.
Mm.
I was a network guy. I don't know how to code. I don't even need to know how to code. All I do is run a tool and I get in. I hack in. Boom, I'm in there." He's like, "You don't even need to know how to code. You just need to run the tool and do your thing." Like, I mean,
Yeah.
but anyway, I didn't. Yeah. So my thing is, I've had several people there that said that shit, and that's so bad when you think about what a script kiddie is, and then compared white hats with that. That's the same goddamn thing.
Yeah.
And how many people in the industry today are actually, would you say, are actually will fit in that category? Like, what percentage of people fit in that category in the industry today?
Easily over 99%. Our industry is flooded with white hats. One of the hallmarks of a white hat is a lack of understanding of anything beyond the high level concept. And that's even if they understand the high level concept. And so when you talk to them, they're constantly either quoting books or quoting this or that because they don't know. When you press them to give an explanation, they can't, or it's very milk toast at best. And things of that nature. And that, unfortunately, is the vast majority of people in IT security, in network security, cybersecurity, digital forensics, incident response, any of that kind of stuff. And that's very harmful, especially when you talk about defensive, but even more when you talk about from a legal perspective. So if, for example, you have a bunch of white hats and they are advising a lawyer as to some alleged incident and maybe how to interpret that incident or anything of that nature, they don't understand the system. And I use this as the big system term, meaning just anything and everything, very abstract concept. They don't understand the system well enough to actually be able to give a full and proper analysis. And so then you have someone like me come in and I slam down my 1,864 page report, just absolutely filled to the gills with what happened, how it happened, how this thing works, how we know that this individual did whatever is claimed to for them to have done, and all of that other stuff, all just combined. Their expert witness comes on and just gets slaughtered, just destroyed. Because they can't answer anything regarding the report because they don't have the technical know-how. And so when they're sitting there on stage, I should say on the stand, saying something that's completely, utterly, totally incorrect, like, well, anyone could have done this. How do you know it wasn't someone trying to frame this person? Well, we know that because we have here that this person authenticated. We have the videotape of them sitting down at the computer. We know that they were using multi-factor authentication. We scanned for malware. We looked through all the logs for any signs of intrusion. You know, we looked through the Slack space. We looked through the unused, the free space. We did this, we did that, and all signs point to it was this person. The other expert witness has nothing because they don't understand networking, or maybe they don't understand where how the operating system works. So when you bring up that we pulled this data from the page file, or we pulled that data from the page file, we pulled this from, Hyperfill, we pulled this from actual memory, these guys wind up being completely over their head. And white hats are just the worst.
We definitely shouldn't talk about with computer forensics, but from my experience, there are not a lot of good computer forensic people out there, and a lot of them come from law enforcement that don't have a technical background. So and they're looking for that. So you see how bad that is. Now, with that being said, there are going to be a lot of people around that's going to say that, we have this podcast and we speak about these different things, and we're looking down. Well, we're not, but we seem to be badgering white hats. What makes us so different from white hats?
I'm not one.
I don't consider myself one, and like with my mindset and curiosity, like I would not fit in that area. But also, I understand whatever I'm using, and if I don't understand it, I'm going to research it, take it apart, figure out why it works, look at the code, figure out what it's doing before I run it. And you should always do that on your system anyway, because you don't want to put anything on your system that might have anything in it that you don't know what it's doing. Like that's what they used to do back in the days.
Yeah.
And you get people, especially in the industry. How many times have you seen people that white hats that come in, they work for a firm, they take this exploit or this tool and don't know how it works and wind up either getting compromised themselves because they didn't read the code, or wind up fucking up a customer's shut down a whole customer site.
Right.
And all that other shit because they didn't pay attention, or even their network.
Yes.
Or compromise the client's network.
Yes. Well, okay, so to that point, how many, I don't know about you, but I have seen in actual presentations and even in demonstrations that people put on YouTube where they clearly they're using cracked software. And these guys are white hats, and they're white hats because they're the goody two shoes that always tell you how you should be this way, you should be that way. They tell you how, they try to act like they're your parents. Oh, well, you need to make certain that you always, I don't know, purchase all your software, and you need to make certain, which you should, don't use crack tools, but not for the reasons that they say. You're going to get malware if you use crack tools. Let that be the guide enough. But these same people are the ones who are going off, and after telling you that you should always pay for your tools, for the good of the industry, they're the ones who are running the crack tools, and they're doing it in demonstrations. I've seen people do that in conferences. I've seen people do that in YouTube stuff that they posted. We had, oh my goodness, the name is escaping me, but there was a very famous, very popular, I think it was a vulnerability scanner. And they were using a cracked version of an Adobe product as part of their product. I mean, ridiculous stuff like that. And I've seen a couple different instances of that.
Yeah, I will say I know a lot of people that use crack stuff, even in a lot of industries. But there's a lot of free stuff out here too. A lot of free things like Burp. You don't need to get a cracked version. I mean, in my opinion, the Pro is great. It's great for you if you want to use it, but there's a lot of times I don't even use the Pro.
Yeah.
It like in my opinion, I always tell people you need to be able to do these things manually without depending on the Pro or the scanner version. If you have to depend on the scan version, then something is wrong. It's good having it if you have a ton of stuff, but I like to do all my stuff manually. I manually sit and look at requests and see what's going on. Like I don't always use the scanner.
Yeah, it's a proxy.
Yeah, what I'm saying, like, and the website hacking is easy. It's not hard.
No,
but
websites
you
are easy.
literally have to manually like learn how to do these things. If you don't want to pay for it, and most hackers are not into paying for shit, then get the free tool, make your own shit.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Like learning how to make your own stuff. You have freedom to make it. Like in Burp Suite, you can make your own jar application, your own like tool inside of the application.
Yeah.
You can make your own scan. They're nothing new. They're not doing some complicated shit. You can make your own shit to search for stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you really want to learn how to do this stuff, you got to step out and do your own thing. Now, again, you're not going to be making anything new under the sun, but if you really don't want to pay for that shit, make your own stuff.
It's so easy. There are libraries for everything that they do anyway, so all you have to do is use the library and just hook into it. Problem solved.
And shit, hell, a lot of it's almost pointless to get the Pro version because a lot of the things that you could use are free anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of scanning tools people have built it. You can literally plug it as an extension and use it, and it will still scan.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Like, Jesus, like I said, people are making it too complicated.
I remember there was another tool that was using a cracked version of Luftcrack, which was ironic.
Oh man, I remember that tool.
Yeah, that was a big one too.
Mm-hmm.
See, but that's a white hat thing. So your white hats are generally the people who act like they know better than you, like they are your parents. They tell you what to do, and they act like they're so morally superior. But just like so many of these ministers who are so gung-ho about being super fundamentalist and all this other stuff, in the end, the more of a fundamentalist you are, the more extreme your perspective tends to be, the more likely you have an issue. That's the case with white hats. That's the case with religious ministers as well. Those are the ones who always get found out doing bad things.
That's the case with a lot of people, by the way.
Yes. Politicians.
You, again, in this field, like Roniel said, or DaRon, not Roniel, but I'm saying it in third person. Don't worry about it. I love Deadpool anyway. But like DaRon said, or he's trying to say, don't be a white hat.
Yeah.
Be something else. Be yourself. Be whatever you want to be, whatever that may be. But Don't make up shit. Don't recall things that already have its placed into something else just to give yourself credit for something.
Don't steal other
Write your
people's
own stuff.
work.
Don't steal other people's work. Write your own shit and stop begging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, to that point, they spend so long going through and trying to steal from the gray and black hat community. You saw that for some of these big famous authors. That's what they would do, is they'd run around and they'd go to the black hat and the gray hat community, begging them to give them exploits, begging them to explain this detail, explain that detail, because they couldn't do it. But they're trying to write this book, and then they sell then they sell copious amounts of this book, and if you ever read the stupid thing, you're like, this person clearly didn't know what the hell they were talking about. And half the time they get fed a pack full of lies, because we find it funny when white hats are trying to steal our material. It becomes a bit of a joke to see what you think they'll actually take up and claim as their own.
Yeah, that just sucks. Like, there's nothing new under the sun. A
Yeah.
lot of them are the same issues, injection issues. Once you understand the basics and fundamentals, you'll be okay. That's the reason why we said in the other episodes, get a computer science foundation first.
Yeah.
It'll make things so much better and so much efficient and easy and seamless, because you'll understand how things work in the under the hood. And you won't just be stuck on top of the hood. You'll be able to go under the hood and be able to understand. Um, so pretty much, like I said, don't be a white hat. Be anything you want to be. I'm not telling you to go be a black. Do not be a black. I'm gonna say that. We're not telling you to go be black hats. No, but be whatever you feel like you want to be, and be good at that. And just go out and explore. The world is your hack. Put it that way.
See, and that's the thing, is white hats won't let you do any of that.
No, I mean, how many times you see in consulting areas where they say, "Oh, if you're further than that, it's just no point. You're going beyond it." I mean, you need to be able to explore.
Right.
You have to go further to see how you can push the boundaries. If you never even touch the surface, how do you know it's even vulnerable? How do you even know what's there? How do you even know that there is an issue?
Yeah.
There could be multiple things that you missed that you never seen because you never took it a step further. Like I said, so explore. The world is your hack. Explore it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to go fuck up people. I'm telling you to go explore and become the better you. Become whatever you want to be. It's your world.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Don't listen to the white hats. They're morally bankrupt. They are. They really are.
Yeah, he won't name any names, but we know. I think he named one of them before. So look at the past episodes and you'll see one of his favorite people he hates to talk about.
Yeah. There's a lengthy list. The funny thing is that fool sits there and likes to claim he's so black hat. He was never a black hat. He was a joke. He's still a joke.
I think everybody knows, but don't be afraid if he comes and tries to hack DaRon. Remember that whole movie where they would say he was the scary person? Everybody was scared to get hacked by him. What's such a myth and tales?
No one was scared of him, and no one was scared of what he did.
Well, again, do you have anything else for the viewers and any other tips that you can give people who are getting in the industry and think white hat hacking or hackers is the way to go?
Don't be a white hat. Play instead. Play. Play means, just because the terms of service say don't decompile me. I'm not telling you to do anything illegal. I'm just saying.
Again, the world is your hack, and it's your world, and we just live it. So go explore it, you guys. Go explore, all you young hackers and all grandpa and granny hackers, whatever. Go explore. Anyway, that is our segment. I am Roniel.
I am DaRon.
And if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment, leave some flames under at the bottom for us. If you hate this factor that we're talking about, white hats, go ahead, flame DaRon if you want to. He hates white hats to death. It's a passion in his heart. So go ahead and stick that knife in his heart. If you guys feel any type of way about that, feel free to comment down below. And until then, this is our time. Later.
Have fun.